Okay, let's install Visual Studio Code on a Mac. If you're working on a PC, this is going to be a little bit different, but I'm going to record on a PC as well. This is the same process, so let's search for it. And Google gives us this link. This link is actually in the handouts for the class. You'll notice that it has different versions here for Windows, Linux, and Macintosh. We want to download the Macintosh version. And if you're in Chrome, when that downloads, it's not a huge download, but it's 84 meg. Then we can go over here and open it. And you'll see that there is, when we open it, a Visual Studio Code app. And we want to, it's a zip file for the Mac. And once we've opened it, then we want to click on that Visual Studio Code app. I think we actually want to run it. A Macintosh requires that you accept that it's run from the web. Now, let me take a quick detour here. I'm going to close this before we do this, and I'm going to bring up the Mac's security system preferences pane. A couple versions ago in Mac, you had to go into, I think it's security and privacy. And on the security and privacy tab, general, down here, allow apps downloaded. It'll by default just say App Store. You want to change that to App Store and identified developers. Otherwise, you won't be able to run this. You notice I've already changed that. To change that, you've got to click down here on the little padlock symbol at the bottom and put in your password. So you got to do that first and then change this. I have already done those things. So at this point, what I'd like to do is in the Finder, bring up the Applications directory. And I really want the Visual Studio Code app to be in my Applications directory, so that I have this guy permanently available. Now when I run it, it'll run this way. It's also going to have a command line version that you may find more useful to run because it sets the directory that you're currently in. But that is the piece we need to install. And then you see this little square extensions. We want to go into extensions, and I think it is this one right here. Python from Microsoft, you want to click install. It'll take a little bit to install that extension, but that is the Python extension that allows us to do nice things for the Python language, and we're going to want to use that. There are a number of Python extensions available, but that's the one that is the minimum. All the others generally tend to include this Microsoft Python extension. So that is what it takes to install on a Mac. Now, this is not the actual building a Python project and associating Visual Studio Code with the Anaconda Python, which is the version of Python we're using. We'll get back to that and have to do some configuration inside Visual Studio Code specifically for that. But those are the pieces you need to do Python for a starter.